All right, guys, today we are going over the OMT or Orion Motortech AC manifold gauge set. I did a separate review on their quarter horsepower vacuum pump. I was super satisfied with that as well. So let's jump into this. So overall, I'm super happy with this set. I did use it to successfully install my Pioneer 18,000 BTU mini split. I'll show you a few clips from that in a minute here on how handy this gauge set was. It does come in this. It does come in this really nice carrying case. I'm just super big on buying things that come with carrying cases because I've got so many one-off tools at this point that organization is just kind of important to me. We do store the actual hoses up here. The actual manifold gauges right here. You might notice that there's actually 4 different valves on here. That's a little nicer than some of the other cheap kind of manifold gauges out there because it basically means we can valve off each fitting individually instead of just having one on each side that kind of comes together here in the center. So we do our low pressure, our vacuum, our refrigerant, and then our high pressure over here. If you're like me and just using it to install a mini split, you really only need this side over here. Automotive users will find these very handy. These are basically quick disconnects for the low and high pressure ports on a vehicle AC system. They don't really have any use for mini split installations. Over here, this is a 410 can tap. Again, you don't really need that if you're doing a new install on a mini split like me. This is also very handy, this little container they have. And in here, they have just a bunch of very handy little adapters. There's a valve core remover. We have some 5/16 to 1/4 inch flare adapters. Super useful when installing a mini split. Normally, you actually do have to buy this adapter separately. It's only a couple bucks, but you know it does save you that here by buying this OMT gauge kit. When you do want to hang it from something, there's a little hanger that hangs out in here. And this just kind of screws right on there. So now we can actually hang the manifold gauge from like the grates on a evaporator. That comes off. Oddly, no real place to store this in the kit. It just kind of hangs out on top. But overall, I really have no complaints at all for this set. And for the price I paid for it, I'm really surprised at just how functional and complete it is. As this is an unsponsored review, I've placed an associate link below. Yush will provide the channel a small commission. That is greatly appreciated. And with that, let's get into the extremely quick overview of my AC vacuuming. I'll also place a link to the full install video below, as like I said, this is just a super quick overview. All right, so I just ran that for about 20-25 minutes to hopefully get a nice tight vacuum on there. Not quite down to -30 because it was a little bit over 0 to begin with. So I'm gonna leave this for about another 20 minutes and make sure we hold that vacuum. All right, guys, it's been a half hour and we still got a nice tight vacuum on there, so I think we're good to go. But now we have a little bit of a dilemma, and that is how to disconnect this. Because we've got a vacuum in the system, which basically means if I were to simply undo this right now, I would actually suck a little bit of air back in there because that Schrader valve is not particularly fast. Alternatively, I could actually release the refrigerant now. I might lose a little bit in the lines, I might lose some as I'm undoing this, but theoretically I wouldn't be sucking air in, I'd be pushing refrigerant out. But then I was thinking that might lead to an undercharged system, which isn't ideal. And then I thought, what if there was a third way? What if I release just a tiny bit of refrigerant, just enough to bring this up to 0, and then I undid that, and then I released the rest of the refrigerant? Theoretically, there wouldn't be any pressure differential then to either push refrigerant out or suck air in. So that's what I'm going to attempt.